now we are going to move on to the students evaluation. I am going to just show you the rubric. So we are using CEFR rubric. The reason why I chose CER rubric instead of MUET because the curriculum of Malaysian curriculum uses CEFR as the main main reference. I actually have the textbook here. So can you yeah I just want to show you the textbook. This is the textbook that this is a Form 4 textbook. This textbook is it was from I think it was from the UK if I'm not mistaken. So at the back of this book, yeah, this is from the Common European Framework. At the back of this book, it shows the CEFR standards here. So I think it would be relevant for us to like give evaluation of the student by using CEFR to to be parallel with the Malaysian curriculum standards because MUET is for Form 6. I don't think maybe it will be suitable, but it will be more suitable if we use CEFR. So hold on, yeah, it's still loading. So maybe you can give your thoughts first. Uh, how was the students listening and speaking ability? Were they fluent, and were the grammars they said correct, and what is their language style? So maybe I would like to hear from Wahyu first.
Mm, I have listened the students' assessment, and I think
Mm-hmm.
speaking is uh, already good, but I don't think it's fluent enough because he made a few mistakes, I think, and then in grammatical his grammar is already good enough for the form which form is this form two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think his speaking is already good for the form in his form, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So Dean, what about you?
I feel like I think I would want to say that he is lower intermediate. Okay, that is first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Even though he is fluent, but you can see that his vocabulary is the only basic one. He is
Yes,
yeah, he
yes.
is
Okay.
not
Yeah.
intermediate yet. He is lower intermediate, I would say that. And as we can see
Mm-hmm.
that he did little to no mistakes, I would say, because he was using very simple and basic words. Even his grammar structure and
Mm-hmm.
all is very simple one. There's nothing complicated. So little to no
Mm-hmm.
mistakes. Fluency, I would say fluent, not very, but fluent. Just so yeah, that's all from me. That is what I see. What I
Mm-hmm.
My opinion.
Okay. Okay. So San?
Okay, so I tried to evaluate his answers for the assessment, for the after class assessment, and then the answers are acceptable, but then I think he's kind of student that need more exercises and motivation because his answer were all short, but answering the question, but still answering the question.
Mm.
Know what I mean? Just like Din say, maybe lack
Yeah,
of
yeah.
vocabulary, but his grammar is okay, and then pronunciation, maybe out of five, I give three because there's a word vegetable mentioned it vegetable,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or is it?
So yeah, I agree with
Mm-mm.
you guys. Mm?
Okay, okay.
I agree with you guys about that. Yeah, I also think he is fluent, but yeah, his answers were short, and I think that is one of the like shortcomings. Maybe yeah, if his answer was longer, then maybe we can put him on another level, right? So oh, I forgot to show you the answers for listening.
Oh
Is it
yeah, one.
accessible for everyone in the drive, Sun?
Yes.
Okay, hold on, yeah. We try. Uh-huh.
I think like we one more thing is I think is his expression, because if you listen to the answer that he sent, there was
Mm,
less expression, like no stress on
mm.
which words,
Yeah, yeah,
solution.
yeah. It was very straightforward and like yeah, it is like that because maybe because due to the short response and there are some stresses, but I think it's only at the end of the sentences. So I think that he likes there. Yeah, we can say it like that. Excuse my loading. My internet connection is not very good.
And
Okay.
I just want to show this. So I want to show the answer for the listening, so we can also evaluate his listening skills, whether he listens well or not. Ya Allah. Wahyu, later you can just cut the scenes, the parts where the silence is long. Have I mentioned this before?
Yes, you have. But it's okay.
yeah,
The internet connection at my place is not very good at the moment. Okay. So now, so the assessment is listening assessment. This is listening assessment. So he was given he was given an audio to listen to, and he will answer it from here, right?
Yes.
So let's see response. Okay. So okay. He got 10 out of 10.
Ooh.
And okay, I can see that yeah, he got all the answers, all the answers
Correct.
correct. Mm-hmm. So okay, so I want to ask, since we are here at this assessment, so San, you were the one preparing the assessment, right?
Yes.
Okay, so since at the beginning of the before our teaching session, our initial students were supposed to be Form 1 students. And then, due to uh, circumstances that they cannot avoid, because it was flood that time, right? And it was raining heavily, so the internet connection was bad. So, do you think the assessment that you prepared was suitable for Form 4 students? If you were to evaluate Form 4 students, do you think the assessment you prepared is suitable?
Okay. Because at first this assessment was meant for Form 1 students, right?
Mm-hmm,
Therefore, I
mm-hmm.
think it is quite easy for Form 4 students like him. But I tried to before I gave it to him, I did give my friends the questions for her to answer, and then she's
Mm-hmm.
actually a university student, but her English is quite, poor.
Oh,
But then she tried to answer. She don't get 10 out of 10. I don't know. I find it funny.
oh,
So
okay.
he's quite good
A
lah.
university student. Yeah, yeah.
He's that
So, you
average
think
group of
that's the
students.
material?
Mm.
Mm. So the material is, we can say it's suitable lah kan? We can say it's suitable. We can say the materials are suitable because it depends on the fluency of the students itself. So, Din and Wahyu, what do you think of the materials?
I think the materials are suitable for the Form 1 or Form 2 student. Okay, like the student that I am supposed to be teaching.
Mm,
But again, if the person who's going to answer the question does not listen to the audio carefully, then they won't be able to get the correct answer.
mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
I would say the question is
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even though for us the question is very easy, but
Mm,
yeah, because we're learning English, we're learning
yeah.
to teach. So I suppose that we are advanced uh, other than the others. So yeah, I would say the question is intermediate. I wouldn't say it's easy because for
Mm-hmm.
us it's easy, but not for
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like when examinations, the teacher would always say, "Why can you answer this question? It's easy." It's because we are the one teaching, we are the one learning. Yeah, I can agree to that. So,
yeah.
Wahyu, what do you think about it?
I always agree with Tin also.
Mm.
And the student is showing his passionate, right?
Mm-hmm.
He
Mm-hmm.
is listening carefully so he can get 10 out of 10, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's really passionate of this
Mm-hmm.
so that he can answer all the question correct.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree with you all. Like the assessment will be suitable according to their according to their level. So like Santi mentioned just now, even though you're a university student, but if your English proficiency is not quite good, so you probably won't be able to answer that question. So yeah, it may seem easy to us because we are the one who prepared and teach the students. Okay,
Yeah,
so
also, I find it after
mhm,
doing this assignment, I find it will be difficult if one day we need to teach in virtual class like this for listening,
yeah, yeah,
especially because you have to play the
mm,
audio or unlike in real life situation where where you teach face to face, you can play the how to say the audio like twice. The maximum is
mhm.
3 times. If we're doing Moet, I think it's 3 times the maximum time they played the audio. But then it's online, so he probably played it several times. That way he can.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I think yeah, that is one of the shortcomings of online class because if we are to be in a face-to-face class, we can control how many times we are going to play the audio to evaluate them. But since there are like it is quite difficult to like play an audio on the screen on Google Meet, for instance, because the audio will get stuck and then it will make it harder for students to listen.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. So maybe yeah, we can say it like that. I think it is a challenge for us teachers, future teachers, because we need to adapt with the situation so that we can teach efficiently and effectively. So yeah, I think we learned something from this teaching and learning session. So now I am going to show you the rubric, the CEFR rubric that I have found. Um, the reason why uh, I there are many types of CEFR rubrics, but the reason why I chose this one, you can see. Can you see my screen? And can you read?
Yes. Can you zoom in?
Okay. Sorry. Okay. Can I zoom in? Okay.
Okay.
Can you see it now? Okay. Okay. So there are like from in this CEFR rubric there are it is already divided into the language skills. So we can see that they are listening and what can we put the student in the category of what, and then there is the spoken interaction and spoken production. So maybe spoken interaction maybe it's like more to communicate. Do you think it's like that? Spoken interaction.
Mm,
I think it is more to like interacting with other people. And then the spoken production is how he or she, someone use the language. So okay. So what do you think the students category? What is the category of the student?
I
So for
think it's different for every category
mm-hmm,
because for listening,
mm,
um, I would say he's B1, but that is only for
mm-hmm,
listening because when he watched the video that I
mm-hmm,
sent the link to him, he does not need to rewatch the video. He's
Mm.
able to answer the what
The sequence.
rearranging the sequence correctly
Uh, mm.
in just
So
one go.
okay. So you say B1. Why not B2? Can you give like a reason why?
Why not B2? Because
Yeah.
in the video I don't think so. There's complex lines
Mm-hmm.
and there's no argument in the video. It's only uh it's literally a video of recipe telling you how to do the biryani rice
Yeah.
one by one. So very complex.
Mm-hmm. So Susanti, what do you think? Do you agree with Dean that the students is B1 independent user?
Yeah, for listening, only for listening.
Mm. Why?
And I agree with her because he did well in the assessment, in the listening assessment, and
Mm-hmm.
then we cannot uh, yet confirm that he is in B2 because I didn't use any extended speech.
Mm. Okay. So Wahyu, may I ask first? In Indonesia, how do you evaluate students there? What examination and what rubric do you use there?
Uh, I don't know the rubric because we are like when testing students in Malaysia, you're using NUET, right?
Uh-huh.
In Indonesia, we use like TOEFL, IELTS,
Oh,
something
TOEFL.
like
Ah,
that.
okay, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think this is do you think there are any similarities TOEFL? Because TOEFL is for other other language. Is English your second language there? No?
Yes, yes. Second language here. Our
Mm-mm.
first language is Indonesia, and the second
Mm-hmm.
language is English. I think, well, actually, in my university, we have an internal test called
Uh-huh.
TOEIC. It was, I think, the TOEIC is similar like MUET because it was to test our proficiency internally in
Mm-hmm.
university. I think like it was same, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, interesting. So we both have different ways of evaluating students. So this is CEFR. The Malaysian curriculum use CEFR to categorize students according to their English proficiency. So um, what do you think of the students uh, category? Do you agree with what Susanti and Dean said that the student is a B1 user, independent user?
Yes, for the listening, like Susan has
Mm-hmm.
said, they are independent user because in the video of how to cook chicken biryani, the person in the video is speak is not really clear for me too when I was making the sequence. She speaks
Mm-hmm.
real fast and in a fluent accent, and
Mm-hmm.
that was pretty difficult. And he can manage to catch what is the speaker says in the video. So I think
Mm-hmm.
the listening skill is the independent user.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Maybe, yeah. We have, like me, sometimes I would have like trouble listening because English have different slangs, and sometimes I cannot differentiate the slangs very quite well. Yeah, for me personally. So I think I also agree with you guys saying he is a B1 independent user because he can listen well to the video, and it is shown from the in the sequence activity as well as the assessment that we gave him because he got a 10 out of 10. So yeah, I agree with you guys. So now I would like to ask you guys, how about the speaking? Maybe for this one, since um, maybe we can evaluate him through spoken interaction, how he interact with the teacher, as well as his spoken production, how he um, utter sentences, how he organize his sentences well. So um, I would like to ask Wahyu first. What do you think his spoken interaction is?
For me, I think the spoken interaction is a basic user, A2, I think, because he is using a simple sentences when interacting with the teacher,
Mm-hmm.
and he uh, he handles the interaction well, and he is answering the teacher question quite well, even though it's in simple way, I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, Wahyu, thank you. So, Susanti, what do you think about his spoken interaction and spoken production? What category as he is in?
Hmm. I think I agree with Wahyu. Then I think the suitable person to answer this is Dean because Dean was the one that interact with him during the class.
Mhm. So, okay. So, I think from what you see, and here,
Hmm,
you, mm,
can I say um, basic user? I think.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay. So, do you have any reason?
Hmm, hmm, I'll pass.
Okay. So, Dean, you are the teacher. You experience yourself firsthand how he interacts with you and how he utters his sentences in a way of answering. So, what do you think?
I think he is basic user. At first, I would want to put independent user B1, but then since it's only through class and it's not like it's not that I talk if you can see in the independent user B1, it says that I can deal with most situation likely to arise with least traveling in an area where the language is spoken. But we live in Malaysia, so
Mhm.
obviously he's not going to really talk in English outside the class or outside the house. So I wouldn't say that he's independent user. So I chose basic user because if in the teaching during the lesson uh yes, he can communicate in simple and routine tasks.
Mhm.
Okay, requiring a simple and direct exchange of information, which is I gave him instruction and he answered the questions. Follow the instructions. Very easy. And
Mhm.
then what's this? I can handle very short social exchanges. Social exchanges, I can say 50-50 because we
Mhm.
don't really talk talking about other than what is supposed to be during the class. So
Mm.
I can't really say anything about that part.
Yeah, yeah.
But he can actually keep the conversation going, I would say. He tried not to make the class awkward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
So that's all for me. So I think he's basic user A2.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I also I agree with you guys. We can say that he is a basic user since um he only use short sentences and short response. Um, so mm, I think he is a basic user. But if you remember for the assessment two, how he describes his favorite food, a favorite was it favorite fast food? He said his favorite fast food is McDonald's. So he can explain well his interest. We can say it is his interest of food. So yeah, he explains well. Maybe he's I would say I would put him in between. If there is a in between category, I would put him in between because he can still explain even though he is using simple words. But yeah, he is still a basic user because the usage of his vocabulary is not that wide. So yes, I can agree with you guys on that. So we can agree that for listening, he is a B2 independent B1 independent user, and then for speaking, he is an A2 basic user.